Hello Animorphs fans and welcome back to reading the Animorphs YouTube channel for a start. Secondly, we're doing Meet the Stars again and we're on the Shawn Ashmore chapter, chapter 3. Today, of course, we're drinking and I'm drinking once again Estrella. And the usual drinking rules apply. So, yeah, drinking in fingers, 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger. And the rules are bold predictions, 4 fingers, animal mention, 1 finger, TV channel mention, 2 fingers, slang, 2 fingers, big it up, 2 fingers, book mention or author mention, 2 fingers, buy this or merch mention, 4 fingers, and alien mention, 2 fingers. I don't think I've got any outstanding fingers at the moment, although my fingers are outstanding, I will tell you. Right, do we have any? Let's have a look. I should have checked beforehand, really, shouldn't I? Let's take a look. Nothing there. Meet the Stars, live stream. I do plan to do a live stream, by the way. It'll probably be a Saturday at 9 PM British time. And I'll probably put like one of those warnings up that says stream live starts on a particular day. Because we'll see how many people we get. It might be that I get the time zone wrong and nobody turns up because you're all American and I'm British. So Medi Twazak says horse mention, no drinky. So I owe 1 finger. Okay. But yeah, live stream is probably going to be a thing quite soon and you'll have prior warning. Okay. And we'll do it for one of the podcast episodes because that's going to be a lot easier to do. Okay. So if you want to start suggesting which podcast you prefer me to do, feel free to do that. I'm going to drink this 1 finger that I owe, and you all need to do it too, because it was a normal forfeit. So drink. If you're not drinking, then your forfeit is 5 star jumps or jumping jacks for every finger that I drink. And there's one last thing. This episode was meant to be another TV series watch with Raptor, but unfortunately he had to cancel this week, so yeah, it's just changing the schedule a little bit. We'll get back to doing episode 2 at some point soon. So, I'm hoping that's recording. If not, then you're just going to see me from this angle, but hopefully not. Let's go, shall we? Chapter 3, Shawn Ashmore. In fact, I am going to check it. I'm getting paranoid. I'm getting paranoid, guys. I've only had 1 finger of drink. Yes, it's still recording. Okay. So let's fracking do this. Chapter 3, Shawn Ashmore. Jake is the balance, the centre. That's why he's the leader. I swear I just heard that camera do something. No, I didn't. That's just, again, me being paranoid. Although my microphone did fall out my pocket. So that's that. Christ, it's gone off to a slow start, hasn't it? Right, that should be fine. If not, then this video is just doomed to fail, isn't it? Right. Jake is the balance, the centre. That's why he's the leader. Now, already that's... Yeah, he is sort of in the middle of them, the centre, but that's not why he's the leader, per se. It's just that he has more leadership qualities, and you see that quite quickly in the book series. He's capable of making the decisions and coming to compromises that others perhaps wouldn't get to, but regardless. How did I get to be the leader? Jake demands of his friends in one of the first episodes of Animorphs, to which Cassie, Rachel and Marco respond with a shrug. You just are. Well, Jake is a strong natural leader type, but it's not like he's ever asked to be in charge of the Animorphs. It just sort of happened that way. So he's a little reluctant about it, and not always comfortable with everyone looking up to him, but he really is mega responsible, and he'll deal. It's not technically slang. Shawn Ashmore will, too, gladly. He's the outgoing, articulate, and awesome young actor who's a perfect fit for Jake's Timberlands. Timberlands? Timberlands? I don't even know what that means. I don't think it's slang. But I think there was some slang in here. No, there was a big it up. Awesome young actor. That's bigging him up. That's 2 fingers, drink. That's 10 jumping jacks out there for anyone who isn't drinking. Unsurprisingly, Shawn copped to a lot of Jake's character traits. Here's how the actor describes his TV alter ego. I see Jake as the responsible one of the group. He kind of balances out everyone else. He's not really outgoing, but he's not really laid back. He's somewhere in the middle, so that makes him the balance, the centre, and that's why everyone looks up to him. Not really. He was the leader even before they became Animorphs, so even though he comes off as reluctant, I think he likes doing it. Shawn continues. I'm kind of like that too. I'm not exactly a leader, but I've had people tell me that I work well in group situations and take control when I need to. It's not like a dominating thing with me or with Jake. I just feel comfortable dealing with people. I'm level-headed, and if there needs to be a leader, I can definitely step up and take over. That quiet confidence comes naturally to Shawn. It's always been a part of his personality, and it has served him well. Not too many forfeits in that first little bit. But next up is twin times. Yeah, because he does have a twin, doesn't he? And he appeared in one of the episodes. Shawn Robert Ashmore was born on October 7th, 1979 in Richmond, British Columbia, to Linda and Rick Ashmore. His birth was cause for a double celebration. Shawn's identical twin, Aaron, arrived as well. Soon after, the family moved to the province of Alberta, where they stayed for 10 years. When the twins were 11, they relocated again, due to Rick Ashmore's job as a manager for a manufacturing company. This time they moved to a suburb of Toronto. That was serendipitous, since that bustling Canadian city is a thriving media centre. Lots of commercials, TV shows and movies are shot there. And by that time, Shawn and Aaron had already started their acting careers. Shawn explains how it all happened. When we were living in Alberta, my mum had joined this club for women who had twins or triplets, which was kind of like a community group. That sounds like the sharing. Shit! Dear God. By the way, what happened to Aaron Ashmore? Did he ever continue being an actor? Does he still do, like, stunt role bits for Shawn? I don't know. Not that he did stunt bits in the Animorphs, but whatever. Where was I? And one day, a casting agent came to speak to the group. The reason, TV shows, movies, and especially commercials seek out twins or triplets for baby and young child roles. It's partly because if one child gets cranky, they can substitute the other. But it's also because, by law, babies and small children are only allowed to be in front of the camera for a very limited amount of time. By rotating the twins, that time is doubled. You know what? I learned something today. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I've learned something. Thank you, book. Not that I'll ever probably need this knowledge, unless me and my fiancée have twins. I dread the thought. Shawn continues. We were about 7 years old. The casting agent asked some of the mums. Sorry, I read it in the American spelling. Moms. Mom. It's mum. God's sake, Americans, sort it out. If they would allow their kids to audition for commercials, and we said, yeah, why not? That sounds really cool. So Aaron and I went to our first audition, and he got the part, only he was sick on the day they were filming, so I got to do it. He was kind of upset, but that's how we started. That was the start, all right, not just of the Ashmore twins' career, but of learning to deal with the constant competition, and more importantly, working out a way to feel cool about it. They had lots of practice. Does cool count as a slang word? I suppose it does, and we haven't drunk much, so 2 fingers. Drink. Not so many drinking opportunities in this one so far, even though I'm speaking like I'm freaking drunk. Quite often, we've auditioned for the same exact part and one of us has gotten it over the other. So we've had to learn to accept that. We've come to understand that for some roles, it's not only a look the casting agents have in mind, it's also how you interpret the role. And since Aaron and I have very different personalities, we're bound to do different interpretations. So if his is more along the lines of what they want, he gets the role. If mine is, I do. Of course, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes casting agents really are just seeking a specific look. And if both Shawn and Aaron have it, that could be a problem. Actually, it has been a problem. We've gone for commercials, Shawn relates. Never seen relates in that written context before, but okay. And the casting directors have said, we like both of you, so we're just going to flip a coin to see which one of you gets the role. So don't feel bad if you don't get it. It's nothing personal. As it turns out, both boys have worked pretty much equally. Shawn proudly describes a few of Aaron's impressive roles. He's done a lot of commercials plus TV shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark and Due South. Shawn himself has been in such movies as Fast Track and Strike with Gabby Hoffman and Kirsten Dunst. Those names are vaguely familiar to me. Plus the TV movie Any Mother's Son, which aired on Cable's Lifetime Network. That, my friends, is a TV channel mention, which is Two Fingers. We don't get many of them. One thing that we certainly haven't got is merch mention. I'm quite surprised by. Two Fingers, drink. 10 jumping jacks for the rest of you. Blue River, 12 cinnamon buns. A minute. The big question. Did Aaron also audition for Animorphs? Shawn's candid answer. We did both audition originally. But there were no hard feelings. In fact, Aaron's even been on the show. There was an episode where there were two Jakes, Shawn says. We hadn't planned for Aaron to be in it, but he just happened to be visiting the set when we were working on that episode. And we realised that the scene where the two Jakes meet would work better if Aaron played one of them. So he did. Of course, being a twin wasn't only about competing for acting parts. In fact, neither boy worked often enough to have missed out on a normal childhood. Shawn has strong, mostly happy memories of his. Having Aaron, I had a best friend, always. In school, we basically had the same interests, so we had a lot of the same classes. If either of us missed an assignment, the other could help out with homework. They collected baseball and hockey cards together, played video games, and as teenagers, hung out at the mall. That's very much like Jake in the books then. Mostly in the summers, they went skateboarding. I met a lot of friends that way, Shawn says. We'd all go out skateboarding together. In the winters, the group switched to snowboarding, a sport Shawn is still into. I love skiing, by the way. I love it. I want to go skiing again. Need to have a big Annie fan ski trip. Although some people don't think the boys look identical, others mix them up all the time. We didn't have to try to fool people, Shawn says. It happened by itself. Pranks came to us. There were always teachers who'd give us the wrong report cards or the wrong tests back. I had one gym teacher who called me Aaron all year long, and that time, he wasn't even in my class. The teacher had him last year, so whenever he saw Ashmore, he just assumed it was Aaron again. No matter how many times I corrected him, he still did it. What an arse! Jesus! Shawn's memories include lots of long car trips, mostly for vacations. And that's when sibling rivalry busted out, big time. Busted out? Is that slang? I'm going to call it slang. Two Fingers, drink, and I'm going to refill. So far, this particular chapter has mostly been about Shawn and his brother. Not many forfeits. I mean, there have been a couple. But it's been slow going. Team, it's been slow. Slow going. Oh dear, oh dear. So what do you make of all the politics these days, eh? Oh yes, politics this, politics that. You know what? I think there's a lot wrong with politics, but there's also some things right with politics. Yes. Controversial, I know. Yes, some wrong things and some right things. Oh, I had a discussion the other day about politics with somebody, and he had the opposite opinion of me, and we disagreed. Oh, crikey. But we had a beer, and that settled it. And that's why we're doing this drinking game, because drinking brings us together. Drinking overcomes such differences as politics and football and... oh, that's it. But if you drink too much, it sometimes makes the problem worse. That has to be said. Drink responsibly. And gamble responsibly too. Right, where the bloody hell was I? Ah, here we are. Shawn remembers with a laugh. In the car, we were in the back seat and there was this little divider that we'd pull down between us, like an armrest, and we'd split it down the middle, exactly. And if I was on his side, even by so much as a hair, or he was on mine, there'd be an argument. But that kind of competition was natural, nothing serious. We're really best friends. We even finish each other's sentences without realising it. Yeah, that's what creeps me out about twins sometimes. You see these programmes on YouTube about twins who are so identical and they act identical too, and they talk in unison, and it's creepy. It's like those two girls in The Shining. Come play with us forever and ever and ever. Quality movie, by the way. By the way, The Shining, the author didn't like it and didn't have a part to play in it. Do you know what? Best horror film of all time. There's hope for the Animorphs movie. Without Catherine and Michael. There is hope. Let's remember this. Michael Grant thinks Marco is a sociopath. Maybe it's a good thing that he's not involved in the creation of Animorphs movie. If he thinks that Marco is a sociopath. Maybe, just maybe, he doesn't have a grip on the characters anymore. He doesn't know what it's about. Old people, you see. Old people. They're not quite the same as they used to be. Right, school days. In the was I there? Yeah, no. No, I'm not there. Christ, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Shawn and his brother share another talent. They're both musicians. Aaron and I were in a band for a while, he says. We both played guitar and wrote songs. We even had a tape out. There was a local label in Toronto that was putting out a compilation CD, and they used one of our songs. It's kind of a punk sound. My dad calls it jumping around music. But we also play acoustic guitar and rewrite blues and flamenco and stuff. Bloody hell, flamenco. We went to music competitions and started playing, and people really liked it, so we did that for a few years. Music's good for the soul, I will say that. By the way, this book has got a little label on it saying Mason Middle School. Mason. I might look that up later just to see where Mason Middle School is. Hey Siri, where's Mason Middle School?
One possibility is Mason Middle School on South Mason Montgomery Road in Mason. Does that one sound good?
Ohio. Yeah, it looks good to me. Siri, I'm looking at that.
What businesses are you looking for?
Oh, shut up, Siri, bastard. Jesus. So this book came from Ohio. Cool. Cool. What's in Ohio? Is there anything in Ohio? Anybody from Ohio watching this, please be offended. It makes me smile. School days. In the province of Ontario, where Shawn grew up, high school goes up through grade 13, one more year than in the United States. While some kids are less than thrilled about the extra year, Shawn asserts that for him, it was a good thing. It's a weird system, I know, but I didn't mind doing it. That final year is sort of in between high school and university. It prepares you and gives you extra time to sort of figure out what direction you want to go in. Most of Shawn's 13 years at Turner Fenton High School were good ones. Being an avid reader served him well in all his subjects. The first series of books I got into were the Chronicles of Narnia, he says. It's a fantasy series by C.S. Lewis. That got me into sci-fi and comic books. I went on to read the whole series of Dune books after that. Now it mentions the author of Chronicles of Narnia, and one of my rules is book mention or author mention. That was meant to be specifically Animorphs, but because we aren't drinking enough, and because Meditwazik is going to drink double this time, we're going to drink 2 fingers. Excuse me. 2 fingers for us lot, and Meditwazik 12 fingers. Nah, that's a bit too much. 10. Drink. I really do like Estrella. I really do. I don't know why. It's just nice and smooth. Just drink it casually. More casually than you would any other drink. which you can still drink. Let's carry on. Right. Most of Shawn's 13 years at Turner Fenton High School were good ones. We got past that part. The book that affected him most, however, was Brave New World. That's the book we had to read in school that really hit me. I was like, are you serious? Just the whole society. Author Aldous Huxley, that's another author mentioned, give us a second, we'll drink to that. Created and how it works. The whole repression thing, being under the control of the government. I can picture it happening like a nightmare. Plus, being a twin, that book really, really affected me. Hold on, that's funny. The whole society, how it works, the whole repression thing, being under the control of the government. Cool. Sounds like he's a libertarian, much like Jake was in the books. He's a perfect fit, but there's an author mentioned, 2 fingers, drink. Body says no. Body says no. That's that old Little Britain. Computer says no. Quality show. 2 fingers, drink. Living under control of the government. Yeah, the government sucks. I've become much more libertarian over the last... Not much more. A little bit more libertarian over the past 10 years. Those political compass grids. Where you've got like... It's a 20 by... It's more like a 30 by 30 cube or something like that. And you've got authoritarian left on top left. Bottom right is like libertarian right. I'm about 3 dots left, so barely left of centre, and down about halfway. So I'm left-wing, quite libertarian. And I feel like Shawn here is reflecting my opinions. And I think Jake does as well in the books, but I could be wrong. This is all down to my interpretation, as the authors say. It's all down to interpretation. And that's what I like. I've got a lot about Michael and Catherine, how they treat their books. It's just like, yeah, you can ascribe things to our books. It's just up to you. You know, we don't give a fuck. You think what you will about what we're trying to get across. It's great. Where was I? Shawn also liked his science courses, especially chemistry, in which he did well. I like experiments, he relates. There's that word again. Just dealing with chemicals was fun. Of course, my brother did manage to almost blow up the chem lab one time. He was doing something with sodium, and the teacher said not to mix it with water. Yeah, that's true. You don't want to mix sodium with water, at least not in great amounts. But he accidentally did and found out what happened. It exploded. But I thought it interesting to learn how atoms work and how everything is put together. Electrons, neutrons, protons. You hear all these terms in the movies and you haven't taken chemistry, you don't know what they're talking about. Shawn's least favourite subject? The dreaded math. Oh, much like Christopher Ralph. I actually did well in it, but I never really liked it. Again, that's like me. I fucking hated maths, and I got an A level in it. But I fucking hated it. I'm like Shawn. I hate maths too. We connect on so many levels. I actually did well in it, but I never really liked it. That was the one subject his acting career affected negatively. I was away during a movie and I missed some of the semester, so I started falling behind. The worst was word problems. I hated them because I could never get them. I know it's not a big deal, you just work through it step by step. But I used to look at it and try to skip steps and get ahead of myself. I'd miss something in the arithmetic and then I'd get the whole question wrong. But I did finish out of the year and got my grade, which is better than a lot of people I know who didn't like it and just dropped it. When Shawn graduated high school, his plans were to go to university in Toronto to study drama and take courses in radio and TV arts. You learn production and editing techniques and filming and directing techniques. I figured I've been in this business for 10 years, so I sort of have a head start in my career. And if I'm not acting, I'd still like to be producing or directing or doing something else in it. The something else would have to wait. Before Shawn actually got the chance to enroll in college, Animorphs came along. Yes! fucking yes. I'm sorry, I'm so enthusiastic. Wham bam, for my enthusiasm. Curse it. You drink 4 fingers. Morphing into Jake. Because Shawn is close to his character, he never had any real trouble nailing him. But as season 1 progressed, Shawn became more and more comfortable in his portrayal. When you start as an actor, you have an idea how to play the character, but until you find out where the character's going, it's hard. So in the beginning, I read the books and took my cue from them. But now I'm using more of myself in creating Jake. Shawn is enthusiastic about his new co-stars. We're all really good friends. We definitely hang out together, on the set and off. We go to malls, movies, out to dinner all together. Once we went to the Indy car races. Of everyone, he's made closest friends with Boris, who plays Marco. He's the greatest, an amazing actor and a great guy. Like his character, he's hilarious. He really makes you laugh, but he can be serious, someone I can really talk to. I really like everyone though, and it's great to work with people you really like. Now, 2 days ago I put up a video, assuming I've got my schedule right in my head, where we actually have an interview with Shawn, and he says the one he still keeps in contact with is actually Brooke Nevin, and not Boris. Oh, he cut that tie, didn't he? Jesus. Animal Planet. That said, for Shawn, being around the animals is by far the coolest part of his animals experience. Coolest part, slang. We counted cool earlier, so we've got to do it again, haven't we? 2 fingers, and this is before we actually get into the animals. So here come a load of fingers, gang. Oterlu. I'm speaking to you now. Look at me. Don't start laughing. Look at me. Look at me, right in the eyes. Okay? You've gotten away so far. We haven't had much to drink, have we? We haven't. So, I'm going to make things a bit more difficult for you. You know, I love that you come to my channel and you comment and say things here, there and everywhere. It's great having you here. But I think you need to be fitter. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Just look at yourself now and tell yourself, I'm as fit as I could possibly be. You can't do it, can you? I'll give you 5 seconds to consider it. Okay? Look at yourself and consider that for a minute. It's not true, is it? You could be fitter. And that's why you're going to stand up now. You're going to go to a part of the room where there's space. And you're going to do 50 squats. Don't start complaining. Stop it. No, don't laugh. Don't. You're doing it, right? No messing around. Do it now. That's an order. An Animorphs order. Okay? You do as you're told. No, do it now. Stop complaining. Where were we? All the animals are trained, but they're still wild. Trained by Michael Hackenberger, by the way, who was done for animal cruelty. We learn not to make any sudden quick movements around them and no running around. But there's always a trainer there, and they wouldn't put us in any danger. Still, he confesses, you never know what they're going to do. Weird stuff is bound to happen, and it does. Shawn is totally up for telling animal tales. Right, just before we get into animal tales, I'm just going to make sure that this thing is still recording. And I reckon in 30 seconds it's going to stop, because it keeps stopping at about 30 seconds. So I'm just going to have a quick natter with you as the next 30 seconds pass. Oterlu, I hope your squats are coming along all right. Better not be taking any breaks. I can see you. Don't think I can't. I've got my cameras. And I put them here, there and everywhere. You doubt me? Look under your desk. Eh? That's all right, I got you paranoid, haven't I? I got you paranoid. And you too many, twazzick. I'm going to change your name again. And I'm going to call you... Yeah, it stopped recording. It stopped recording. So we're going to hit record again. Any minute now. Come on, you bastard. There we are. So yeah, that's recording again now. We're safe. We're safe, gang. Medi Twazak, you're going to be called Medi Pillock. Yeah, that's your new name. And because you've got a new name, Spongy444, you're drinking 4 fingers, funnily enough. Spongy444, 4 fingers. Right, that's you sorted out. Okay, I'm glad we got that done. On the lions. To mark their territory, lions pee backward. Our lion, Bongo, is 800 pounds, and that stuff can spray like 20 feet. If it gets on your clothes, it will never come out. That has happened a couple of times. But luckily, I've never been on the receiving end of the lion's gift. Right, so that's animal mention lion, 1 finger. Let's add these up, shall we? We've only got so long to the Shawn off camera chapter. We'll add them up. So that's 1 finger. On the horses. They seem to like going to the bathroom once you're doing a take. So you're trying to concentrate and you see stuff out the corner of your eye. It really used to crack us up when the animals did unexpected things like that, but we've learned to focus and keep it under control. On the hawk. The hawks, like all the animals, are trained, but they're still wild. It can be frightening, like when you're standing next to a hungry hawk and you see its claws and big beak, and you think, if he thought my finger was a little piece of meat, he might take a chunk out of it. But nothing like that has happened, and you have to think optimistically. On the tiger. To Nickelodeon magazine, Shawn told of his scariest moment. By the way, Nickelodeon magazine is not referring to the TV channel, it's referring to a magazine, so that doesn't count. I had to pet a white tiger, and our animal trainer, Michael Hackenberger, animal cruelty charge, told me exactly what I could do and couldn't do. Such as, don't move your hand away quick. I mean, I'm saying all this stuff about Michael Hackenberger, but honestly, I believe it was just a charge. So I really shouldn't be doing that. So I know Michael is 99% chance he's not watching. Sorry to Michael. It's just a meme. Just let's have it at that. Maybe he was innocent, I don't know. But that's what the reports were. Don't move your hand away quickly and don't run away because it'll think you're prey and come after you. So I started petting the tiger and somehow it jerked its head and my fingers went up its nose. I thought, if this isn't the time to move my hand away, I don't know what is. But I also thought, if I move my hand away, the tiger will probably bite me. So I stood there in shock. Then I heard the trainer say, back away, which is what I did. It was kind of cool and funny, but at the time I was pretty scared. Right, that's a slang, that's 2 fingers, 4 animal mention, 6 fingers. I'm going to need to refill my drink to complete this particular task. How are your squats, Ortolu? Otelu? Your name is weird. Tell me, where did it come from? Where? Why? How? God. Eliano R.A. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Eliano. Thank you for watching. You told me that I need to live stream these. I told you at the start of the video that I plan to. And I will put up a date and it should turn up on my YouTube channel saying this thing is going to happen on XYZ date. Please do turn up to that. I will try to keep the time zone reasonable. It will probably be a Saturday in the late evening for me, which means it'll be like late afternoon for you Americans, which I assume is one of the better times. But yeah, you're drinking an extra 2 fingers. So while the rest of us drink 6 fingers, Eliano, you're drinking 8. So 6 fingers takes me through the majority of this pint. Drink. About halfway there. God, Jesus, Shawn. How much more have I got to go of you? Not too much. Entertained a couple of chapters. I've learned something. but I've forgotten what it was. Ah, fuck. My drinking powers have waned since I started all this drinking. It's the fault of the TV show, yes. By the way, soon me and Raptor will be back at it, watching the TV show and just having a bit of casual drinking banter while we're doing it. And I'm gonna... The thing is, he's had surgery. So if you're watching this, Raptor, hope your surgery's gone alright, mate. He had surgery, and then there was a whole COVID scare with his kids. He has kids as well, which doesn't help proceedings. He's American. Don't think he's Canadian. If he is, I might just back away from him very quickly. Yeah, Raptor's great because we started watching an episode. I was in the Animorphs Discord chat, by the way. Animorphs Discord, great. There's a link in the description. And he came in, and I was just watching some Animorphs stuff on YouTube. And he joined in, and we were just having casual banter, you know, while we were watching this stuff. And I thought, there's a flow here. And I just thought, let's do it. Let's freaking watch the series and get drunk to it. Let's do it. Let's do it all again, but with two people. And so we did episode 1, 2.5 hours. And yeah, it's a long video, but I had fun. I had a lot of fun. And he's occasionally I'll finish a book before I do my review, and I'll just call him up on Discord and say, "What did you think of this book?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, fucking this, that, and t'other." And I'll be like, "Oh, t'other, this and that." And it's great. I love it. He's an Animorphs mad lad, and he does those. It's like graphic versions of the aliens. I did a how do you think the Hork-Bajir look video, and it was the last one where it was this really lifelike but really weird looking Hork-Bajir head, and it was brilliantly designed, and that's him. Top quality. He should do a rendering of me looking as kingly as I do. I need to drink more. I'm up to book 42 next in my Animorphs book reviews. 41 was fucking fantastic. I'm not looking forward to 42. Anyway, from that tangent to another, back to the book. Shawn off camera. Although he's the star of a TV show, Shawn opts to continue living at home with his family. "We have a great relationship," he asserts. He continues to share many of the same interests as his brother. The last book Aaron read, Rule of the Bone, is Shawn's current favourite. And the last family vacation they took was a car trip down through the Adirondack Mountains, never heard of them, and western New York, where much of that book took place. Plus Vermont and New Hampshire. That's where my fiance's from, and I'm surprised she's not called me. That's unusual for her. She's usually called me at some point. "It was one of the best vacations we ever had," Shawn raved. In fact, I might do it. I've got a little buzzer thing, right? Things about me and my fiance. She was over here for 6 months, living in my house. And then she went back to America for a little while. And that's when the lockdowns started. So I haven't seen her since January last year. So over a year and a half, I haven't seen my fiance because she couldn't come over here. There were travel restrictions. It's not great. Thankfully, you know, with modern technology, I can speak to her on the phone every day. But it's not the same, of course, without her being here physically. But she got me this little buzzer thing. And so if I tap it 3 times, it vibrates and sends her a message. So she'll send me one back. We're going to get married and we're going to have... I wanted an Animorphs-themed wedding. And there will be some Animorphs themes to it. And I'll probably take pictures and that. It's going to be great. Because we actually... our mutual love of Animorphs was one of the major things that we originally talked about. Great. It's an Animorphs relationship. And we're going to be Annie married. That's cringe, I know. Sometimes I can be cringe. Just accept it and move on. Right, bloody hell. Where was I? It was one of the best vacations we ever had. Shawn raved. He raved, did he? Okay. We stayed off the interstate highway and with no particular plan, just meandered down back roads. We found these amazing little towns and met some really cool people. There's that word again. In one town, we went to a glass blowing studio and sat for hours and watched as craft people made vases. It was really, really cool. 2 fingers for slang. 2 fingers for the slang. The slang. Drink. I've got 1 finger left in that. I've got 2 more drinks. When neither Shawn nor Aaron is working, they like to head down to music clubs where their friends often play. We go and listen to them a lot. His own musical aspirations have faded somewhat. I honestly don't think I'm good enough to continue with music, Shawn assesses. I know so many people who are better than I am, who dedicate a lot more time to music. So for me, music is what I do to relax. Sometimes when I come home from the set and I'm stressed out, I'll pick up my guitar and play for 10 or 15 minutes just to get myself relaxed. That's sort of where I am. I play a lot of guitar. I'm not the greatest. I'm not the greatest singer. I'm not the greatest guitarist. So it's more just it's a hobby that I do whenever I feel like it. It's how it goes. Sometimes you just got to accept that. So for me, music is what I do to relax. Sometimes when I come home... No, we've done that. Right now, Shawn doesn't have a girlfriend. But have you noticed that all these characters are single and it makes a point of mentioning it every time? I should have done a forfeit for that. Relationship status. I should have done that. In fact, Spongy, 2 fingers. No, because you're Spongy 444. It's got to be 4 fingers every time. I'm sorry, but you chose that name. 444, you're drinking 4 fingers. Go. But he's clear on the kind of girl that attracts him. Looks are part of it at first, especially a girl's eyes. That draws me to her. But any girl that I would go out with is someone I would have to be able to talk to. She has to be funny and smart and nice. Nice is really important. Shawn doesn't consider being a busy working actor... Hold on. Being a busy working actor a hindrance to a relationship. Sure, I don't have a ton of extra time right now, and sometimes I do work on the weekends. But if I weren't acting, I'd be in school, so it would be kind of the same demands on my time. It's not hard to maintain a relationship, not if you meet the right girl, anyway. Future plans. The most imminent plan Shawn has revolves an extended vacation. He, Aaron, and their friend Chris, not his Animorphs co-star, have been planning for close to a year. We're going on a 3-month trip to Australia. Australia! We'll tour, stay in hotels, learn how to surf, hang out on the beach. I'm so excited about that. I can barely wait. We're planning to stop in Hawaii and in Fiji too, and we'll take lots of pictures. College is on the agenda too. He plans to further his education. Got postponed. Okay, I get it now. His plans to further his education got postponed but not cancelled. Shawn aims to fit that in where he can. Professionally, there's no question Shawn wants to stay in acting. He's fully committed to Animorphs, but wouldn't turn down a juicy role in a movie or teleflick if the timing worked out. Right now, he's taking it one step at a time and having the time of his life. And full credit to Shawn Ashmore, you did it, mate. You are a proper actor. You're a proper actor. Proper actor. As we would say in Cornwall. Cornwall. So there's obviously the the fact file bit at the end, which is, yeah, meet the starts of Animorphs, which is here. Wait, no, where is it? Where the hell is the chapter I'm looking for? Is it chapter 8? Ah, here it is. Right, so, Just Jake. Nicknames, Prince Jake, Fearless Leader. Family, Dad, Greg. A doctor, Mum, Nikki. A writer... Oh, no, hold on, I've got this all wrong. Dad, Greg, a doctor. Mum, Nikki, a writer. Brother Tom, human controller. Cousin Rachel, Animorph. Now, forgive me, but Greg and Nikki are not Jake's parents. I don't know why they changed it in the TV series. Jake's dad is called Steve. I actually forget what his mother was called, but it's not Nikki. I don't know why they changed the parents' names. Greg and Nikki. Nah, mate, nah. Best bud. That's slang, Marco. Slang, 2 fingers. That takes me 1 finger into my next drink. And the reason I didn't refill quicker is because the next drink is a different one. It's Heineken. I got given some Heineken and some Sol single bottles because I did my mate a favour and filmed their skydiving. I do a lot of filming. Probably the hardest thing I've ever had to film because they were 15,000 feet in the air. And the more you zoom in, the more little shakes in your hand will completely throw you off. It was fucking difficult. Right, so I need another finger of this. Heineken. Oh, God, that's horrible. Fuck me. I forgot how bad... Heineken is a proper university student drink. Just complete... Right, there's levels of drink, right? The lowest of the low is Frosty Jacks, which is this awful, awful cider that comes in 2-litre bottles. It's gopping. But that's what you drink when you first start binge drinking. When you're like 15 or 16, it's Frosty Jacks, right? This awful freaking bottle mass-produced cider, okay? Next step after that is your university years, from 18 to 21, 22. 22 for me. And you drink a lot of this sort of stuff, Heineken and Stella, which are your really crappy lagers. Thankfully, I quite early moved away from lager and got into ale. But the reason I'm not drinking ale here today is because ale is one of those drinks that you take slow and you savour. You don't binge drink. When I binge drink, which is today, the only time I binge drink is when I'm doing it to entertain you fuckers, Medi Pillock. It's the only time I go back to lager. Right, I need one more finger in this. And I feel older now because I've finally gotten into wine. Yeah. I've finally gotten into wine. It used to be, oh, wine, every single bottle of wine tastes the same. Fuck this, fuck that. Nah. Wine is now nice. Soon enough, I'll be liking olives. Not looking forward to that day. That's when I know I'm old. Right? Right, so where were we? Crush, Cassie. Hobbies, video games, sports. Personality, strong, natural leader, cool under fire. Career goals, Navy, pilot and doctor. Bloody hell. Is that Shawn or Jake? Yes, just Jake. I was in the Navy. I'm more in common with Jake than I knew. But then again, that's the TV show, so what the fuck do I know? Navy pilot. Morphs. Dog, cockroach, butterfly, lobster, tiger. That is 5. 5 animal mentions. Fuck me. Let's just get to the end of this bit. Morph advice. Stay cool. I thought it was don't morph your shoes. That's on the Hold on, where is it? Where is it? I've got to get it now that I mentioned. Now that I brought up, I can't justify not grabbing it. Do you remember this? The Animorphs bookmark. What does it say on top? Don't morph your shoes. All the others are like, you got to fight for survival or something like that. And Jake's is just don't morph your shoes. What was I doing again? So yeah, morph advice, stay cool. Oh, for fuck's sake, that's another slang. Quote, my name is Jake. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you my last name or where I live because the controllers are everywhere. They could be anyone. They could be you. Fuck me. Right, so slang, that's 7 fingers. I've got 6 fingers left in this one. I'm going to have to dip into the soul, which is my last drink, which is this one. Oh, Jesus Christ. How much more of this have we got? Oh, not much. Not much. Right. Medipillock. 12 jumping jacks. Oterlu, 24. 7 fingers, drink. Oh God, Heineken's fucking awful. Oh, Jesus. Why do I do this? I work out every day, right? And one of the things that I've been told reliably that you do not want to do is drink alcohol. And every week I'd resort to this shit. Excuse me, it's just lager. Bubbly lager. That's the Heineken gone, which means I'm dipping into my last bottle. After this, it's the rum. This is Soul. I say I did a favour for somebody by filming their skydiving, and they gave me a bottle of Heineken and a bottle of Soul. If it weren't for that, I'd now be on the rum, and that's a very, very dangerous bit of territory to enter. Almost as dangerous as Kabul. Ain't I right? Fucking yeah. Banter. Ooh, edgy shit. Ah, right. Fucking shut up, me. 1 finger for me. Drink. That's a bit better. Soul is nicer than Heineken. Right. Shawn's stats. Plays Jake. Full name, Shawn Robert Ashmore. Birthday, October 7th, 1979. Born in Richmond, British Columbia. Grew up in Alberta and Ontario. Height 5'11". Hair brown, eyes blue. Parents Linda, homemaker. Rick, manufacturing company manager. Brother Aaron, his twin. Some people think that there's no resemblance. And some people think they're exactly the same and can't tell us apart, so it's kind of weird. Well, considering that you watch that particular episode of Animorphs and you can't tell the difference, they're twins, you can't tell the difference. Anybody who says that they can tell the difference is insane as far as I'm concerned. Differences in their personalities. Some people say Aaron's more aggressive than I am. Bloody hell. Pets. Jessica is the family's golden retriever. A birthday present Shawn got when he was 9. We call her Jessie, and that's really bizarre. And what's really bizarre is that my dog on Animorphs is also a golden retriever named Jessie, except he's a boy. Animal mention, 1 finger, drink. I'll tell you what, After a really slow start to the drinking, we're adding it up now. Favourites. Music. I listen to everything from reggae to punk to hip hop. Lately, I've been listening to a band called Bad Religion. I've heard of them. Movie, Saving Private Ryan, as good as it gets. Saving Private Ryan it's a good film. Very famous opening, certainly. The rest of the film, take it or leave it. I've never seen As Good as It Gets. Scary movies, Pet Sematary, Candyman. They spelt cemetery wrong. They spelt it right, but the movie title deliberately spells it wrong. So they spelt it wrong by spelling it correctly. And because of that, Eliano R.A., Romeo Alpha, you're drinking 2 fingers. I think my thing just cancelled out again. Right, apparently my battery's gone on that camera, so it's just me and you on this camera now. Fucking hell. Yeah, Pet Sematary, so that's wrong. So, Blue River, if you're watching, 5 cinnamon buns. Candyman. Food, spicy. Mexican, Thai, also sushi, which I never thought I'd like. I never thought I'd like sushi, but fuck me, is it nice, especially with a bit of wasabi. A little dip of it, because it fucking burns your face off. Drink. Coke or any kind of pop, juice, milk, water. I'm not too picky what I drink. So basically everything and everything. Midnight Fridge Raid. We never got this with the other characters, did we? No, we didn't. I don't think. Certainly not to this extent. Midnight Fridge Raid. Ham sandwich and a glass of milk. TV show. It used to be X-Files and Seinfeld. Now I'm not so sure, but I don't watch a lot of TV now. TV cartoon. Ren and Stimpy. I used to love Transformers and G.I. Joe. Colour blue. I know this because I suddenly noticed that I have a lot of blue clothes. That denim jacket. I'm going to get one, by the way. Otherwise, it's not something I think about. Clothes. Far from a clothes horse, Shawn does admit to impulse buys of jeans, shirts and jackets mostly. So basically your normal clothes. And there's my fiancée, which means I'd have to drink 2 fingers. But I'm so close to the end, I'm just going to save it for the end. Place, British Columbia, especially the coast. I love to sail or go hang on the beach. I also love the mountains there for snowboarding. For fun, music, whether it's listening to CDs or live, writing songs or playing guitar. And finally, Lucky Charm. A chain with a Libra charm, which is my astrological sign. My grandma gave it to me and I consider it a good luck charm. It's the only piece of jewellery I own. That is Shawn. That's that chapter done. Whew! Right, so 2 fingers for... Was it something in here, or was it my fiancé? I think it was just my fiancé. Christ, I'm that drunk, aren't I? Yeah, it's just my fiancé sending me a text. So 2 fingers for me, not for you. If you want to join along, you can. Oterlu, you have to join along by doing 20 calf raises. Go. It just bounced back in my eye. Right, so that's that. That's the Shawn Ashmore chapter. Next chapter will be Nadia Nascimento, I believe. Yes, it is. The actor for Cassie. And then after that, it will be... Is it Big Bozza? Yes, it will be Big Bozza. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I've had plenty to drink, and I'm sure you have too. Remember that I'll be doing a live stream at some point. Keep an eye on my channel for updates, because I'll do like a schedule thing which will tell you that it's going to be coming up. So keep an eye for that. and I'll do an Animals podcast drink with you. So hope to see you there. Please do join in. I'm hoping we have a lot of banter. Proper, right? This has been your British Animals fan talking at you for far too long. So bugger off, bastards. I'll see you later. Ta-ra!